Ms. Presley Wheel, and I'm interested in being a woman-owned small business government contractor. I will form joint ventures with subcontractors who provide specialty services. I have identified 2 partners who specialize in shipbuilding and repair, utilities, and military training and instruction. Our customer segments are government shipyards, steel mills, utilities departments, and military training facilities. Our value proposition is to produce superior results for our services and to fulfill multiple small business set-aside award requirements. The value I will bring is my woman-owned status and education in finance and entrepreneurship and experience as a government contract researcher. My revenue stream will come from the profit-sharing agreement with my partners, and contract revenues will range from thousands to millions of dollars. The channels we will use to identify clients are web-based solicitation search platforms. We will maintain client relationships and grow revenue by becoming preferred vendors and gaining referrals. One incentive for our clients to do business with us is to offer them 210 net 30 payment terms. My marketing strategy will also include a competitive pricing model, a website, and placing my logo on employee uniforms and our trucks. For funding, I will use collateral and obtain a long-term $30,000 SBA loan. The funding estimate is based on a 6-month break-even analysis showing that I will need $5,000 monthly to cover costs. Other resources include employees, a fabrication shop, equipment, materials, trucks, and an online classroom. Most of these resources are readily available and already in use by my partners. My cost structure includes payroll, marketing, licenses, permits, legal fees, accounting fees, insurance, subscriptions, transportation, dues, contributions, and charitable donations. I plan to work from home, searching for contracts and performing administrative duties. I will also have executive duties such as traveling to meet with clients and attending conferences and council meetings. I hope to open my business within the next 12 months. Now, to move on to the lessons learned from New Ventures portion of my final video, I'll go ahead and say that this course, as we all know, primarily focused on an in-depth study of the business model Canvas. My favorite aspect of the class is that we applied what we learned to a real-life business that we decided to come up with, each person individually. And so I thought that was really, really cool because it just exemplified how applicable this class is and the lessons that we learned from this course, and not even just in general terms, but it showed just how applicable it is to all of us on a personal level. So I really liked that. And then beyond just the material, which I'll get to later, I was able to gain thoughtful insight from all of you, my other classmates, and Dr. Davis. It was really obvious that everyone was truly invested in the course, and they were passionate about their business ventures, and I really enjoyed that everyone was willing to give just honest feedback and really good feedback too. There was, in my opinion, a sense of camaraderie among us. So, just in the way that we all encouraged each other, even though we were all working on independent assignments, it just felt like we were working as a team as well. So I don't know if anyone else got that feeling, but I did, so it was really nice. So those were the lessons that I learned from interactions with everyone in the class. And I just felt like this was important to mention because those discussions were just really a major part of the course as far as our interactions with each other. So moving on to the individual weekly assignments. First of all, I really had no idea how much detail really goes into each part of a business model canvas. Other courses I've taken just kind of briefly, mention it, and maybe just one lesson all semester. And I didn't realize how organic the formation process is. It's like you start out with your initial assumptions, and then through an in-depth analysis, the canvas transforms into a much more expansive model of your business. So that's really cool. Along the way, we all realize things that we didn't think about or consider in the beginning. And then, I know that I realized that some things that I included, I didn't need to include or didn't fit into my business model. And then there were other things that were like, oh, duh, I need to include that. So the next thing I learned is that although creating the canvas is really important, the most important part of the whole process is to test your hypotheses. So things that I wasn't familiar with include the term minimal feature set, or what the customer development model is, and then also the process for that. So the process where we learned about customer discovery, and then validation, creation, and company building. That was all new stuff to me, and I'm really glad that I learned about that, and now I know how to do each of those things. So I also learned new calculations and then metrics to utilize and to measure different parts of the business model. So just for example, the TAM and the SAM, customer acquisition costs, learned how to calculate that, and then customer lifetime value, the cash burn rate, and how to utilize the ramp. So I realized that there were also many helpful diagrams that I'd never created. So these included like the customer flow diagram that we used, the payment flow diagram, the resources assumption spreadsheet, and then at the end the financial and operations timeline that we all created. So all in all, this class just taught me how important it is to get out and talk to potential customers as well. You gain so much more insight from them and from the feedback that you get, and I realize that should be imperative for any part of an entrepreneur. I mean, for the implementation process and the startup process for any entrepreneur's plans. So this was definitely the most applicable course that I've ever taken. It was engaging, and I felt like I was challenged, and I got to challenge myself and get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed this class, and I really hope that everyone's successful in their future business ventures. And so thank you for watching my presentations all throughout the semester, for whoever did, and I enjoyed watching yours. And this concludes my last presentation. So bye. I'm looking forward to watching everyone else's.